The steering shaft is all back together now. I think I've got enough bite on the inside. I'll double check before I tighten everything up, but I'm gonna come around and show you where I'm working right now. I'm working on lifting the actual steering rack off the subframe, and here's a perfect place right there. You can see this part up there, or that part there, is the end of the steering rack. And what I've done is taken 5 1/8 thick washers, they're 1/2 inch, and spaced the steering rack up off the subframe there. I fortunately had longer M12 bolts kicking around to run through there. I'm running some 100 mil, but they are sketchy. There's very little bite on these nuts underneath that are holding it. So as soon as I can, I'll replace that with like 110 mil or something that allows me to get a better bite. Time being, not a big deal, but in the long run, I'm definitely gonna wanna replace that. Next, I'm moving over to this side to lift that part of the steering rack up there. You can see the rusty bolt is sticking up, the other one's out the other side. So I'm gonna prop that up, put 5 spacers under there to balance the steering rack out. The only other piece to notice here is there is a little tiny bolt right up there as the light changes on you, sorry. That guy there. It's holding a little heat shield over top of the steering rack. So the exhaust pipe, the header runs right by there. So there's a heat shield that goes over top. So in order to lift the rack up, I've had to loosen off that nut or that bolt there. It'll lift up a little bit. And then once I get the spacers in on that side, which will go right underneath there, then I'll crank it back down until it's pretty tight. Hopefully still leaving a bit of an air gap there between the two to deflect it. And this is a better angle of the engine mount bolts. So you see I still have them loose. So those are the 3. The 2 on the one on the right and the one on the back are nuts on what appears to be like a lag bolt coming all the way down. And the one on the left is a bolt going up through, connecting. So I've got them loose. Once I've got the steering rack elevated a little bit, I'll crank those down. And then hopefully we're off to the races.